Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Ramayana308. As you may remember, Prince Angada wanted to go to Lanka and kill Ravana. Let us go back to Rama with Sita, who will be rescued by us. If we go back and say Sita has been found, but we have not taken her with us, it will not be pleasing to the ears of our king or to Rama. We are a powerful enough army, and all the world knows our valor. It is of such a high order. Hanuman will single-handedly do the needful, and we can go back to our Kishkinda with Sita Devi, who has been captive all these months. Our king will be pleased with what we have done. Jambavan listened with an indulgent smile to the words of the young prince, who was very dear to him. When the enthusiastic talk of Angada was ended, he said, "You are right, Angada, my prince. It is not an impossible task that you have suggested. We could easily do that. Still, I feel that Rama should know the situation, and we should leave it to him to decide the future course of action which should be adopted by us. Sita herself, I gather from Hanuman's words, wants Rama to go to Lanka, punish the miscreant, and take her back with him. Let us go back to Kishkinda and relate the entire happenings to Rama and to our king. We will leave the future in their hands." Angada and Hanuman and the rest of the group accepted the advice of Jambavan, since they considered him to be the wisest of them all. And with great joy in their hearts, the entire host of monkeys began its march toward Kishkinda. 16. Sugriva's Madhuvana. Excited as they were by the good news that they were carrying, with the thought of the great fight ahead of them, the monkeys proceeded fast towards their city, and soon they reached the outskirts of the city of Kishkinda. On the very edge of the city was a garden, beautiful and exciting. It was almost a forest in size, but it was a well-tended garden. It was inaccessible to everyone, and it was called Madhuvana. It belonged to Sugriva. The king's uncle, Dadimukha, was in charge of it. When they saw the garden, the monkeys became extremely excited. They went to their Prince Angada and asked him for permission to enter it and to taste of the honeyed wines, which were to be found there in plenty. Angada consulted with Jambavan and Hanuman, and finally decided that they should be granted the thrill of tasting the madhu in the favorite garden of the king. The entire crowd rushed into the forest, and soon each and every one of them was drunk gloriously. The monkeys were already happy, and the prospect of tasting the madhu of the king made them jump in joy. They entered the garden and enjoyed themselves to their heart's content. Some began to sing, and some were so drunk that they could not walk steadily. Some were dancing, and others were laughing for no reason at all. Some were jumping from tree to tree, and others were wandering around aimlessly. They were talking incoherently, and some embraced each other. There were small tiffs and arguments, typical of the intoxication caused by too much drinking. There was not a single monkey who was not drunk, and each had drunk until he was satisfied. Dadimukha tried to prevent havoc that they had caused in the garden, and the garden was no ordinary garden. It was the king's garden, and he had been guarding it so jealously. He talked to some of them, frightened some of them, threatened some, and beat others up. Some he tried to coax with sweet words, and not one of them would respond either to his appeals or to his threats. He was dragged here and there by the drunken monkeys, and they enjoyed themselves immensely in the garden of their king. Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.